everyone, and welcome once again to Healthy Living Central Florida. I'm your host, Gina Horan. Well, I don't have kids, but I hear that they do not like vegetables very much, not fans of fruits and veg and healthy eating in general. So here to help us figure out how to get them to eat healthier is Laura St. John, aka the Alphabet Chef. Welcome to the podcast. Hi, welcome. I'm very well. So Cindy did a story. Cindy Peterson, our beloved producer and also a staff writer, did a story about you and how you are the Alphabet Chef and how you love getting kids to eat veggies. But I would like to start a little bit before that. Talk about, when you thought that singing was fun and how you got started.
Well, thank you for having me today, first of all. And the studio is beautiful.
Oh, thanks. So cute.
It's beautiful. So my passions and really are about God. I have some notes because I am used to singing and talking, but not about myself that much.
Well, maybe we'll sing a little later. You never know here on
goodness.
Healthy Living Central Florida. We do it all. So, yeah.
But
just tell us about sort of your early, life and how you got started. And
okay. So I grew up, I was born in Maryland, and my dad passed away when I was 5. So my mom raised myself and my 2 brothers and did a pretty good job, I think, being a single mom. But she was very busy and always had food, Italian meals on the table. She was Italian and was really into healthy, making things from scratch kind of thing.
That's very Italian anyway, especially, Italians from Italy, like simple ingredients, healthy ingredients, and also flavorful. So you got a good start.
And when I went over there, they would always buy everything daily.
Absolutely.
We go shopping, once a week or, but they would go daily to get everything fresh. So that was one thing I noticed when I went over there. My passions are God, animals. I love animals. I love people and kids. I like to teach kids about healthy lifestyle and adults too. But I love music and I love words. So that's kind of where my passion is.
Great. So when did you start, when did you notice that singing was sort of a passion of yours? And when did you start singing in general for the public?
Oh, goodness. When my mom was raising us, she didn't have a lot of time to kind of move me along, but she put me in dance classes, so I did a lot of dance when I was little. And I started doing acting and singing, and in junior high, which was in a private school, the nuns, I was in a private school, the nuns told me, hey, why don't you do this song in the show, the talent show? I'm like, oh, because I was pretty shy.
Okay.
There's
a lot of actors that are shy and they come to life on stage. So,
I mean, I didn't have a lot of interaction with my mom was very busy, so I kind of had to fend for myself a lot. So I end up, being pretty shy when I was little. So when I sang in that show, the nuns were like, wow, I think this is your gift from God, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, really? So
that's great.
So that's kind of how I started. And then high school, my chorus director, it was a very, very cool chorus that was at in Cocoa Beach at the time he was there, was called the Symphonic Chorale Society, and he inspired all of us to do our best and to sing from our heart. So that kind of got me out of my shell, and he really mentored to me, and the chorus was just amazing. We traveled all over Europe and Hawaii and performed, and it was a really close group, mixed of jocks and brainiacs and cheerleaders and non-cheerleaders. So it was an interesting group, and we all kind of blended together, and he made our voices sound really unique. So we were pretty good. You may have heard of us. I don't know.
Well, I have now. So
That's what got me started.
let's fast forward to you have little kids. How many kids do you have?
I have two.
Two kids. So
Yeah.
you have two little kids, and you're trying to get them to eat healthy. Now, I remember my mom was a bit of a singer, and everybody does like airplane or choo choo or whatever, to try to get their kids to eat. Talk about how singing and being creative helped you communicate with your little ones about healthy eating or eating in general, or just behavior. You seem like the type of mom that sang everything, so I want to know about that.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has the songs that they sing.
Yeah.
A lot of parents do that. I've even seen dads do that. But I would always try to make it interesting and fun. And when I was home a lot with them, I was still performing. Like, I came off the cruise ship.
Oh, you worked on a cruise
I was on the
ship.
cruise ship for a little while, performing, singing and dancing and lead singing in the shows. Then when I had kids, I came off and I ended up doing bands and duos and stuff because that was on land. But then when they were born, I thought, how can I reinvent myself to just make it fun just at home and be my creative self at home? So just in the kitchen, I started with this really high-pitched, weird Miss Doubtfire on steroids kind of voice. And they really were intrigued by it. And then I put a chef hat on, and I started getting them involved in the process of what I was making. And they just, even when they were in the high chairs, they really were in tune to what I was doing, and it was unique. And then as they got older, I was still, kind of doing it a little bit, and they would like, hey, they'd have sleepovers, and their friends would ask, hey, be the chef, so I would be the chef, and I'm like, this could be a thing. So
And so that was sort of the
Kinda how
inspiration to sort of, tell all the kids about it. And so what kind of, what did your kids, were they picky eaters? Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I think when kids are little, they're very, they're not exposed to anything yet. So you have an open window to give them whatever. So that's when I introduce them to a variety of fruits and vegetables and a variety of foods. And, we didn't have a lot of processed foods. I just didn't do it.
Were you pretty strict about that? Like you shopped in the
tried
outside of the
to
grocery
be.
store instead of on the
tried to
inside?
be.
Yeah.
But, people have reasons for doing what they do if they have to have something quick. But I always tried to have a variety of things that they were exposed to. And as babies, they may reject it 1 month, just reintroduce it again another couple weeks later, and they like it. So, because their taste buds change and different things. So that's super important to expose them to a lot of different foods when they're very young. And that helped. And even when they went, as they got older and they would go to sleepovers or stay at other people's houses, they would come home and say, Mom, we didn't have any fruit for breakfast. Could I have some? So they were already trained to know that their body needed that or wanted that. So they would come home, and that's when I started to realize, hey, other kids need to hear about this too, other families. So I went to the schools and libraries and community centers, wherever I could, just to be the chef and talk to the kids at their level. I teach them about all kinds of things like hand washing and how to go to the store and be involved in shopping maybe with their parents. So
Perfect. So we'll get to that in a little while. What year did this all start? Like, what year did you sort of, become officially the Alphabet Chef? About 10 years ago, 5 years ago?
you mean business-wise?
Yes. I mean, just in general, putting on the outfit
see.
and.
It's been a while. I've been doing it since they're in their, my daughter just turned 30. Well, she's about to be 31, and my son's 29. So I've been doing it a long time.
Wow. Okay. I love
But
it.
as far as a business, maybe 15, 20 years, officially.
fantastic.
So it is trademarked. So I did get trademarked. So that's always nice to have when you have a business.
I love that. Okay, well, when we come back, we're going to find a little bit more about what she does to get kids to eat those vegetables. We'll be right back with more with Laura St. John, the Alphabet Chef. Don't go anywhere.
Is pain or restricted range of motion keeping you on the sidelines? Get back in the game with expert orthopedic care from UF Health Medical Group Orthopedics. UF Health Medical Group Orthopedics provides robotic-assisted surgical joint repairs and replacements, post-operative care, and inpatient rehabilitation services. all close to home, right here in Lake and Sumter counties. And for those unexpected injuries, UF Health Medical Group Orthopedics offers convenient walk-in and same-day appointments. To learn more or to schedule an appointment with one of their specialists, call 352-323-5665.
Welcome back. We're here with Laura St. John, also known as the Alphabet Chef. I love this idea because, again, I feel like kids have to just put a mountain of Velveeta on a piece of broccoli just to be able to eat it. But do you talk about, the vitamins and all that sort of boring stuff, or do you make it fun? How do you do that?
Well, the key like I said, is to start very young and get them excited about foods. And teach them that, and I actually want to show you my coloring book.
Oh, okay.
That talks about a day in the life of the Alphabet Chef, that talks about fuel for your body. And the right fuel is what kids need, and they need to be taught. If you're giving your body junk, it's going to not run well. So
you really get into the science part of it.
That's in a basic way, yeah.
In a fun way,
And I teach them to look at the top shelves of the grocery store because all the sugary cereals are at the bottom, and
by design.
Tricks, and they're like, ooh, they're trying to trick us. So they kind of like that. They're like, hey, Mom, we need to look up here. So they get involved in the process of making decisions and choices, and they love when they can make choices. And if you can give them two or three options of healthy choices and let them choose, that's always good. And a lot of kids aren't exposed to kids that are in underprivileged areas. They aren't exposed to a lot of fruits and vegetables. Like, they always say pineapple is SpongeBob's house, but it's really, a pineapple.
Right.
And I get them to try that, and they're like, wow, I like that. And
so is it because parents are busy, it's easier, maybe the parents don't like vegetables? Like, what are some of the reasons? Because I know enough about kids to know that if you do sort of expose them to a lot of stuff, they will go, oh, wow, an apple is good, or green beans are good. So talk about why they may not be able to be exposed to fruits and vegetables.
Well, a lot of it is cost and time. You're right, parents and guardians are busy, and maybe just knowing not how to cook things in a healthy way. Like, you can always not use sugar. You can use sugar substitutes like monk fruit, and there's a lot of great sugar substitutes out there. There's some that aren't good, but and I always talk about, sodas, big no-no. And
why is that? Talk about why soda, because people want to know. They think, why not? Like, it's so yummy. Why wouldn't? What is so bad about sodas?
So high in sugar and chemicals and what it does to your body. Your body needs water, and I talk a lot about water, and not just sugar, not sugary water, because there's a lot of water out there that has sugar.
Yeah.
But sugar is like the hidden devil there, because a lot of kids eat sugar, a lot of candy, and there's sugar in everything.
Yeah.
Cereals and even yogurts, certain yogurts. And I think, that people don't realize soda has a lot of sugar. So I always try to tell kids, really, if you're going to have things, it's okay to have it in moderation. I don't like to tell kids you can't have that, because then they're going to
want to. Yeah.
So I always tell them, if you want to have cake, do it on your birthday or do it on, a celebration, but don't have it every day. And if you do everything in moderation, just in life in general, it's always a good philosophy to.
Have you felt that kids have felt empowered a little bit? Like, once you tell them, oh, by the way, this is good for you, do they take ownership maybe of that and say, what, Mommy, I learned today that carrots are better than cake, and maybe we could have more carrots? Do they get involved, or do they love this whole program?
They do. They get excited. The teachers tell me, and I actually do competitions with the kids at school to pack their lunches healthier, and the teachers will give them reward for who has the healthiest lunch. And so they're getting involved in that. And so they tell their parents, hey, I'd rather have this than that. And then they get rewarded for that.
So they can get
making those
creative.
choices. Yeah, they can get creative. I mean, there's lots of ways to cut things certain ways, so it's fun. And
Can you give me an example of, something like...
cheese, if you want to use a little cookie cutter and you want to cut it in a star or heart or whatever, that's always fun, attractive to kids. Crackers, a lot of kids are allergic to gluten and nuts and stuff, so you got to make sure. And there's a lot of good gluten-free products out there.
So you said you've been doing this between 10 and 20 years, and I feel, because I was kind of blessed without allergies, but I feel like the gluten thing is like all, is it all of a sudden, or is it because the environment is different? Talk about like what's changed in the last 10 or 20 years since you started this in terms of diet and allergies.
I think people are more aware, and I think that peanut allergies and nut allergies that kids have, I mean, a lot of it has to do with what they ate when they were babies, and how those exposures to things cause you to get allergic to things. There's allergic to dairy, and you're hearing about it more. Years ago, it was probably a thing, and people didn't know why kids were throwing up or getting sick and or getting hives or whatever. But now it's such a, and I have consults that I do, because I don't have a medical degree, but I have a doctor and a nutritionist that I consult on.
That
things.
you consult with, okay.
Yeah, just to make everything legit.
As
and
you should,
I am
yes.
self-taught,
Right.
In certain areas, but I want to be legit. And
Well, we do have to be careful because there is a lot of sort of online, influency wellness stuff that people, don't consult with doctors. And so I'm really glad that you do that, because at least you have professionals that can tell you, yes or no. But basically what you're trying to, nutritionists, but basically what you're trying to do is make little kids love eating vegetables, or just make it fun. So do you ever make up songs about vegetables, or like...
yeah, I do actually. I have.
Do you? Oh, I love it. Can you? Would you mind?
Oh,
Can you?
goodness.
You want to sing like is there a carrot song or any sort of?
Actually, my daughter. I'm looping this around to the song thing. Her and I sing together.
Oh, I love that.
Laura and Sunny, we do national anthem. We do gigs together, and she actually is recently come on as Alphabet Chef Junior.
Oh, that's great.
So her and I have written a couple of tunes. Like, we always start with the first letter of the alphabet. So I go when I go
like
into
apples
classrooms.
to zucchini.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So there's so many things per letter. It's crazy. And I really delve into the letters, like lentils for L, and try and get them. I mean, I do everything. So if we just did a song for asparagus. I don't remember how it goes, and then almonds, and we did a song for that. So.
And do you teach these songs? Because I really feel like, a lot of the characters for little kids, there's even like stage shows of songs that really that kids can sing along with. And has that been, successful? Has it?
Yeah, I mean, they love music. Everybody loves music. It's such a connection. And I think if we just, when Sunny and I were just kind of messing with these songs, it was only like 4 lines, but it's still fun, and they get to repeat it or do it. We sing the happy birthday song when we're washing hands, because that's really good to get the germs off, is to go through a happy birthday song, and we teach the kids. I have this little special lotion I put on and a blue light that I shine on their hands so they see if they've missed a spot.
Oh,
So that's real
so
fun
clever.
to do with them. At the beginning, before we start touching anything. And sometimes I cook, sometimes I don't. The teachers may not want that. If I do a session, it's usually 45 minutes to an hour. And sometimes the attention span is not as good, so I have to speed it up a little. But
Right.
But singing always breaks that monotony of just me talking. But I get them involved. And whenever I show them unhealthy things, they always have to scream out unhealthy, and I raise my pom-poms to get them excited that they just got it right, that maybe this cookie is not the best thing, maybe we
Right.
should choose something else like grapes. Or
And you talk about ingredients as well.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, maybe I'll get you to sing. I don't know. We'll see. Laura St. John, a.k.a. Alphabet Chef. But as soon as we get back, we'll talk about your books and other things that you do teach to the kids. A little bit more right when we come back with Laura St. John, the Alphabet Chef. Don't go anywhere.
Drive home your new Lincoln during our summer invitation event. Enjoy 0% for 48 months and 2 years free maintenance on our large selection of 25 Corsair, Nautilus, and Aviator. Or take $5,000 off remaining 24 Nautilus. Stop in today to see the all-new 25 Navigator, completely redesigned with our most luxurious interior ever, featuring a 48-inch curved display and 24-way massaging seats. Plaza Lincoln in Leesburg, across from the airport. Our drive to be the best starts with you.
Okay, everyone, welcome back to Healthy Living Central Florida. I'm Gina Horan here with the Alphabet Chef. Now, kids' health isn't just, nutrition and physical health. It's also mental health, spiritual health, and wellness. And you do talk a lot about bullying. And one of my little bugaboos lately is I feel like bullying is kind of making a weird comeback, mostly with adults. And I feel like kids are not with it. I do work with a lot of college students at UF, and their big thing is anti-bullying, and that is something that's very close to your heart. So talk a little bit about, your book that you wrote about and other things that you do with little kids and bullying, or not bullying, yes.
Anti-bullying.
Anti-bullying.
So I actually wrote a couple of books, manuscripts when my kids were little, and I shelved them because just busy raising and supporting my husband's career. And now that they're grown, I actually had these put into, I'll show you the pictures.
Little kids' books.
Yeah, little
so
children's
cute. So what's
books.
that book
They're
called?
Hardcover, printed in the U.S.
Okay.
Don't judge a bug by its cover.
Don't judge a bug by its cover. I love that.
And you can go to my website to get them because I have them there. And it's really a human story about not judging people by how they look. And it's a story about a ladybug, which is the prettiest bug that we all love, and a roach. And
who does great things for the earth, obviously, because they stick around. So that is a really great idea. So inside, you're just sort of talking about the ladybug and the roach. What is the basic, storyline or premise?
Well, she teaches him to love himself. And even though other people don't see him that way, she teaches him that he is beautiful and wonderful. And just like the human story, not everybody looks like you and acts like you or feels like you. And we need to be compassionate and empathetic towards humans and bugs. So at the end, they end up falling in love and going off together. And it's also a book about teamwork because she gets other bugs involved because he flips over. And you know what happens when that happens? They usually don't survive.
They don't.
So he gets flipped back over. So it's just a fun, cute little story. They actually got into the top 10 to be selected for Target nationwide. And then
congratulations.
Yeah, they only picked 3 out of the 10. I didn't make that. But I was honored to be in the top 10 for Target. And when I do this book, it's usually year round. But in the spring and summer, I do Mother Goose character with reading this book for kids. And so I have other characters besides Alphabet Chef.
Okay, so other than Alphabet Chef, talk about your other characters. You do Mother Goose.
I do Mother Goose. I do Mrs. Claus.
Mrs. Claus.
At Christmas. And
do you have any specific anecdotes about being Mrs. Claus, or is there a book there, or anything else you want to share?
Yeah, and I have a CNI I work with, and we do a lot of special needs kids programs for kids. I do military visits, and I go to parties and people that want to have cookie baking parties for their kids at their house, and I help with that. So I do anything really with Mrs. Claus. But this book is actually a Christian-based book.
Okay.
And it's called The Christmas House. And I love giving, with my creative stuff, I love giving aha moments to people.
What's an aha moment for those of us who don't know? I know, but I'd love to share with our listeners. What does that mean?
Well, like things and I saw it all really aha with my kids. It's like they were all on their devices when phones first came out. And this is taking the most special moment in some people's lives as Christians, the birth of Jesus, and bring it into current times on Christmas Eve when everybody's walking around on their devices and on their iPads and on their screens.
And not paying attention to each other, like bumping into the walls when they're looking down.
Exactly. Uh-huh. And Mary and Joseph are walking around in a neighborhood, and no one sees them and no one hears them because they have all these headsets on and they're doing everything. So this is about digital awareness and
Okay. So you take something fun, but it also teaches a tiny lesson, right?
Yeah.
Health
I
and
mean,
wellness
it's
lesson.
people really like, wow, that's really cool. So I use Mrs. Claus to read this, but it is Christian based, so it's about, and the Christmas house is the one house that does hear them. So that's the story of that.
So speaking of then devices, what have you found, even using, especially with your kids or the kids that you teach, what has happened to, relationships and attention spans and so on with the devices in kids' hands, based on just your experience?
My experience, I don't know if I tell about, well, I did have a personal time when I used to keep the computers in the main area. That's number one.
You mean in your house?
Main area of my house, yeah. I never let my kids have laptops in their rooms, and they always had them in the main. And I did catch someone trying to, and they did actually succeed messaging my daughter, and I had to call the police. And so it was serious.
Yeah.
And this guy ended up being part of a ring
Oh, dear.
other gentlemen that got caught. So it's just, you just never know.
Yeah.
And now that everybody has their phones, it's worse. Like my kids, the phones were just coming out. I mean, I encourage people to not give their phones to like maybe 12 if they can do it. I mean, I know it's hard.
Yeah.
Or 13 whenever they're going away and you need to, like on a sporting event, you need to get in contact with them, or your Girl Scouts or whatever.
But you just think it needs to be managed.
Yeah, it definitely needs to. There's so many things you can get apps to help put screen, so you can track what they're doing and stuff like that. And you're allowed. You're paying for the phone, so you're allowed. I know it's a privacy thing sometimes, but I think if you're paying for the phone and they're under 18, it's okay to keep an eye on things. I think it's dangerous. And it's also a part of the bullying thing with online bullying. It's huge right now. And, it's important when you're looking at someone's body to not really say, oh, you're so skinny or you're so fat, because those are the same thing.
Right.
You're judging someone based on if they're large or thin. And it's just, I think it's super important to just be neutral
Yes.
in people's looks.
Yeah, and maybe judge the inside, maybe that's a tack
Right.
we could take. So what's next for the Alphabet Chef?
Oh, well, I actually do have a big thing that might be coming up.
What?
So that's weird you're asking. So
Well, I am. I mean, I just always want to know what's next for all my guests, but specifically for the Alphabet Chef. You had mentioned when we were on break, there might be something fun coming up, and you can tease it. We can just, say maybe in the next week or two, we'll find out. Anything juicy, any gossip happening?
there is, I am talking with some people.
Okay.
Some big people, and I'm super excited
Awesome.
about that.
Well, then we can stay tuned then, I
Yeah,
think.
stay tuned, and things are in the works. And right now, with everything going on, healthy eating and farm to table farmers is such a huge thing right now. It's just a perfect time to do something like these people approached me about. So I'm super excited about it.
Well,
So I'll let you know.
speaking of farm to table, do you ever find that kids love going to we have so many farms around here that are interactive.
Yes.
Is that really a fun place to take kids to sort of enhance their learning about nutritional food by seeing how it grows, going to the farm, getting their
Yes.
hands dirty? Is that something that you definitely like to do?
I like to do, and then this project coming up, I will be focusing a lot on farming.
Oh, fantastic.
So I think it's so important to get them involved in the process.
Absolutely, because
that's
I
key.
think most kids probably, and again, I don't know, but I'm guessing that they just feel like a broccoli shows up at the store. And so telling them that story of, oh, by the way, it was a seed, and then it went in the dirt, and then it grew up with the sun, and then they have this whole idea of the broccoli being this living, breathing, beautiful thing that also gives them nutrition and them life, and it's sort of that circle. So I think that's a great idea. I
Even
love
my
it.
daughter always says, "Oh, I don't want to leave that." My kids always clean their plates. I don't want to leave that little piece because it grew for me.
Aw.
My daughter always says, and she's 30, so
But it's true.
cute because she thinks that way. It's once
you started
know how
early.
they grow and they grew for us and they feed us nutrients and stuff. It's just unique perspective she has on that.
I love that perspective. And Laura, it has been a pleasure to meet you and to chat with you. Where can our viewers and listeners find you in the socials or online?
LauraSt.John.com. I just redid my website. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I checked it out yesterday.
A lot of vocal samples that you'll enjoy, and there's a whole section on the Alphabet Chef, and you can get my books there. And so just check out LauraSt.John.com, and it's either spelling ST or SAINT. And I'll have all kinds of. I also have Facebook and Instagram, so. Check me out on all those YouTube channels. I have one channel for my daughter and I with some music originals that actually my high school chorus teacher wrote that we sing on there. And then I have my own channel. And so, but I love also volunteering. So everybody, please get out there and do what you can.
Oh, yeah. You did want to mention earlier, I'm sorry, about your volunteering. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I love kids, obviously. And I was a guardian ad litem that helped foster and abused kids in the state of Florida. Guardian ad litem is a weird word, but that's what.
No, we've written about it. So yeah, it's a wonderful
a lot
organization.
Of people don't understand it. And then I do Take Stock in Children, which is getting teens to graduate high school that might need a little bit extra push. I also help with Powerhouse, being a mentor with Powerhouse, which is all local to our community. And I love helping animals any way I can because I love animals.
Aw, I know.
I love animals. If I ever do anything big, I want to help animals so bad.
Yes, animals are the best.
Yeah, please spay and neuter. I think it's so important to adopt animals because there's so many out there that need homes.
Well, Laura St. John, it was so lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for being here today. And again, if you want to reach out to Laura St. John, just go to LauraSt.John.com. And I'm Gina Horan with Healthy Living Central Florida. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.